And hey everybody, this is Ray. Ray was a find of mine, which I'm fond of finding things on the side of the road and taking them home, bringing them home. Ray is one of those finds found on the top of a electrical service panel on the side of a house. And I like the little forehead pin, and he looks stoned. So I brought him, her, it, whatever. But I decided it's a her because of the pink. I mean, because it's not gay. I'm not into gay. Fuck gay. That's all I'm gonna say. And I have the right to have my opinion, and so do you. But hey, look at that pillow. Come on. Or is Ray trying to tell me, dude, it's over. Shit's mine. I mean, come on. All right, Ray, don't make the camera pause. Anyway, I thought I would just let y'all see Ray before I'm gone. I was watching my videos number 2, and realized that, man, I'll start on the story and then I'll just stop, and I was high, but a couple of loose ends I just wanted to tie up right fast. Is the rescuing of the concentrate. I didn't even bother to add that yes, I did get it, or how that happened. But when I got back from Harbor Freight with the tool, with the extraction tool and the wire cutting dikes, I wasn't 10 seconds into this area that you have to walk down to get to this where I was sleeping, or that I had slept. A cop was right behind me. And I did have time to get down and face the direction of, and I was just barely starting to doing it, unpackage the extracting tool. But he says to me, sir, you can't be down here. And I said, I know, but could you please come here just a second, please, let me show you what I'm doing. And so I motioned him over. He came over, real nice guy, pointed right straight at the concentrate and told him what it was and what I was trying to do. And I told him how and when it happened. I said, I was here back in March, sleeping outdoors to save money on lodging, and I had just bought it. I was opening the bag from the store, and it rolled out, and there it is. And I couldn't get it. And I told myself that when I come back, I'm going to try to get it. So this is what I'm trying to do. Can I please just give it a try? He says, sure. So real tight fit. This extracting tool was pretty long. I saw right away that it was going to work. So I got down, laid down, and threaded it through with my arms from the side first. Then I brought it around through, grabbed onto it, squeezed tight, started pulling it back, and as I'm pulling it back, I'm having to move my body physically out of the way because it's got to come straight back now. It can't go in at an angle. And but at a certain point, I have to switch hands. The hand that's gripping the grabbing tool, pressure, it's holding the pressure. So when I'm switching hands, it's real difficult. It takes a while, and the cops, he makes some kind of comment, something like, oh, hey, watch out, or whatever. But when I get it hand switch, and the jar's just about up to the, here it is. As a matter of fact, if you haven't watched my other videos, it's a real small jar, what concentrate comes in. But when it got right up to the fence, before it even came through the fence with a tool, I reached my other hand out and grabbed it. This sucker was not going anywhere, so it was a great success. And then the other story I was telling that I just left off on was my experience in Huntsville when the DEA agents called me off the bus. They had my bag out there, and they said, can we search it? And I said, sure. And they open it, and there's like concert t-shirt, hippie stuff, and High Times magazines, and he said, I forget what he said, but I told him, I said, look, I didn't say I didn't smoke pot. I smoke it, but I don't have any pot or any hard drugs or anything on me. So he goes through everything. I do have a little first aid kit, real small, man. It's not even as big as a pack of cigarettes. And in there, I had put, and totally forgot, I had put some cigarette cellophane that had 6 or 7 seeds. They were seeds from a pot, a very special strain indigenous to the Smoky Mountains, the Gatlinburg area. The city is called Cosby, and this pot was called Cosby Green. And this was 1996, and a quarter ounce of it was $55. Well worth it. Different. The buds were different. They were small, always small, moist. They almost look like individual flowers, if that makes sense. Just real small buds, but sweet, beautiful taste, not harsh. You didn't hardly cough. This weed, a lot of the dispensary weed I've gotten, it makes me cough. No coughing, and so anyway, there were some seeds in it though, so I saved them and with hopes of growing them. He says, "Oh, what's this?" And I said, "Oh, it's seeds, man. I'm sorry, I forgot. I put them in there." And so he says, "You wait right here." He goes to the back of the bus. I can see, I don't know, a couple other guys, 2 or 3 guys over there, and they talk. And he comes back and he says, "Did you have some ID?" And I said, "Yeah, and I have to apologize to Chris. I know he found this out later on, but I mean, I was still my irresponsible self, and I was on the run from the law and all that shit. So I had gotten his birth certificate while I was in Gatlinburg. Just mainly, I had no intention of impersonating him for anything. I just wanted to see, number one, see was it possible to get a birth certificate that easily. It was only $5 too, and would I be able to pass a check? And that's it. I never was going to use my brother's name fraudulently or pretend to be him in any other situation. But that being said, I had his birth certificate still in the mailing envelope in my back pocket, and I says to the DEA agent that I had lost my wallet, but so far I've gotten my birth certificate. I'm waiting on other documents. He takes the birth certificate, it returns to the back again, comes back. He was gone a little while longer this time, and he comes back, hands it over, and says, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do." And he takes the cigarette cellophane seeds, pours it out on the concrete, crunches them, and says, "You can go." So, anyway, that was quite an experience. And I guess I mentioned, yeah, I did, that this young black woman that was sitting next to me, when I got back on the bus, she was like real quiet, just looking at me with, yeah, and she waited until the bus pulled away and we were actually back on the interstate, headed to Houston. She said, "What did you do? What they want with you?" "That was DEA, baby, that was DEA." She kept on saying that over and over. It was cool. But anyway, that's the rest of that story. And if I left anything out, I apologize. Like I said, if you were to ask me what are the negative effects of marijuana, in my opinion, or to me that affect me, what are the negative effects? One of them is it makes me a little bit off as far as maintaining my focus, sense of direction. I made so many wrong turns in Denver. I got to make a whole video about that. It's so funny, man. The most notable one is when I'm first headed to the dispensary. I'm in Denver. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to get weed. I'm ready to get stoned. And so this dispensary, Lightshade, I had looked at it online, and they have 15% veterans discount, all that stuff. So that's just where I'm going to go. But you can only get within about 1 mile of the place. On bus, you had to walk the last mile. Man, I have no idea why, but when I got off the bus at that nearest stop, I went the opposite direction. Took off walking in the opposite direction. The address was 724 or 764 East shit, what, it doesn't matter what it was. But I turned west. And since I assumed I had to go a mile before running into the place, I just was strutting along. And, you know, suddenly when I had gone probably close to a mile, the road ended up against a freeway. And I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be. And I don't know why it hit me, but it did, that I had gone the wrong direction. So there's no bus out here, so I think I'm walking. So I walk all the way back, and then when I get to where I started from, I know it's another mile to get where I'm going. So, you know, I make it, and everything's fine. That happened several times. Another thing that happens is I get a little bit clumsy, or I get I lose my spatial judgment a little bit. Good example is, and the one that pisses me off the worst is pouring myself something to drink. I love milk, so I remember this thing happening with milk more often. But I'll come back over here to my table, sit down, sit the glass down, and when I'm pulling my hand away, I'll be pulling my hand away, the tip of one of my fingers, just the very tip, will catch the glass and spill it, and dump it. Oh, God, man, it makes me so mad because I'm thinking, why is that happening? Because it hasn't just happened once, it happens a lot. And for some reason, when I'm reaching into a grocery bag, the plastic grocery bags with the handles, instead of my hand going into the main large opening, it'll go through one of the holes cut for the handle and get caught. Anyway, just little stupid shit like that. I'll be pulling something out of my pocket. It'll almost be out of my pocket and get hung up on something, a thread or something, and get jerked out of my pocket or tossed on the ground. Anyway, I'm going on about nonsense. But weed, it does zap me a little bit from my senses, you know, which in most cases is harmless. But like I've told other people, if I ever get the call like I did about my father doing his evil stuff, if I ever get that kind of call, hey man, I want to be ready to not only understand what's being said, but to realize what it is I need to do next. And I don't want to be toasted on anything when that happens. So I get as high as I can. The only time that I really go over what I say for me is overboard is on the weekend, usually late at night, if I'm listening to music usually, or writing, or songwriting, or watching porn. Teasing, I do. Sometimes I watch porn, but for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, but if I'm up late and going to watch something on TV and a good program, then I'll get nice and high and just experiment. The other night I ate like about 2 joints worth of weed and waited about 15 minutes. I actually thought I was feeling it already. I don't know if that's possible, but I had rolled a joint in the meantime. I said, as soon as I start feeling this stuff I ate, I'm going to start smoking. So I'll do shit like that, but anyway. Okay, videos are currently uploading. I'm going to get something to eat right now. It's lunchtime, and I'll get this uploaded so I can get those stories completed for you. And I'm going to have to learn to do this because this is what YouTubers do. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Please. Alright guys, take it easy.